Churches riled up and have righteous fire for the Equal Opportunity Bill, which is on the agenda for tomorrow's House meeting. But guess what? Government got cold feet. It withdrew the bill. You'll hear why. And distance learning, how's it going so far for schools on the electronic educational frontier? Mixed offerings. Well, we'll visit a private and a public school to learn more. Plus all those vehicles with no license plates, well, the Ministry of Transport says the free ride's over. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight, Tuesday, September 15, 2020. Good evening. With your news, I'm Indra Craig.
Now is the time to sign up for the best postpaid plans in the country because Digi has doubled the data in all their plans. Now you can get even more done, connect even more, stream even more, create even more, and share even more. All on the fastest mobile network that gives you the most coverage nationwide. Now is the time to go postpaid with plans starting as low as $49 monthly. Shared plans are also available, all with unlimited talk and text. So don't wait. Hurry over to your nearest Digi store to sign up today. Enjoy double the data in all postpaid plans only with Digi.
Who ready for this yabash? This yabash. Who ready for the premier? Who ready for Bellykin? Who ready for have some fun? Yeah! Let's go! Hey! Sir Bobby's Bellykin Bash Baby 2020. Bellykin giving back true music, yo! 3 days of mud, Belize and entertainment. Starting September 18th with the mighty Gil Harris 7 band. The 2-time Kyle Bellykin DJ Chop, DJ Iconic, and wrapping up with Super Furia Band. Then on September 19th, Ascension Band, 5-star international, and closing off with the X-Band, baby. Then on September 20th, it's all about the new sensation band, Mr. Smalls and exclusive sound, wrapping up with the Sweet Pain Band. Catch a premiere on Love TV, Channel 5, Channel 7, TNC 10, Bellykin's Facebook page, and YouTube. Each night starting at 8 p.m. It's the Bash, baby. Sir Barry's Bellykin Bash. This yabash. Who ready for the premiere? Who ready for Bellykin? Who ready to have some fun? Yeah! Let's go! Hey!
My name is Kira Pinello. I'm 37 years young. I was born in Belize City and I moved around a lot until I settled here in Belmopan. My day sometimes starts from like 5:30 in the morning because I would get up to go run. But during that period of time, that's when I gather my thoughts. Being a mother of 2 and a wife and an employer, you know, it's hard finding a balance to juggle everything, but we love what we do, so it's worth it. I'm technically a second-generation insurance agent. My grandmother was in the industry for over 40 years, and in 2015, she was diagnosed with cancer. And it's because of her encouragement and the support of the RFNG team, I decided to continue her legacy. I saw the love she had for what she did and the love she had for her customers, because it wasn't just about providing a service, but it was about creating friendships. I am your neighbor, I am your friend. I am your RFNG agent.
Find your nearest RFNG agent on our website at rfginsurancepolice.com, where it pays to get it right.
Grandpa, I want crystal water, please. Can I please get 1 crystal water, please?
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you.
Welcome.
it pleases your heart, knowing she will grow up drinking the brand you have always trusted. It gives you peace of mind. Crystal Water. Taste you can trust.
It's the biggest virtual concert of the year. This Sunday, September 20th, to bring in our independence. The 7th annual Soca and Culture Fest. Featuring Patrice Roberts, Motto, Trinidad Madman, Super G, DJ Puffy, Ernestine Carballo, TR Shine, and Belize's top DJs. Hosted by DJ Dalla. Get your access pass and view on any of our 3 platforms. $25 to view on the Sec9 Live platform, $40 to view via Zoom and be live in the concert, or the home package for $50 on Central TV and Internet cable. Get those access pass as September 20th will be epic. Sponsored by
Orange. Not the ordinary orange, but a nice juicy orange. Cause orange does suck and I does suck.
Contraband is the illegal importation of goods such as alcohol, tobacco, foods, and parts. Apart from breaking the law, smugglers are also now endangering the health of all Belizeans. They risk bringing coronavirus into Belize with their contraband. To keep COVID-19 out of Belize, everyone entering the country is screened and quarantined. But contraband smugglers are not using legal entry points and are bypassing all safety measures. And these same smugglers are moving among the population. They could be carrying the virus. By coming into the country illegally, they could cause outbreaks of COVID-19. Buying or smuggling contraband is putting yourself, your family, and the entire country at risk. Report smuggling. For SMART, call 0800-JUMPERS or 0800-BORDERS. For Digi, 0800-SAVE-BZE. This message is brought to you by the Belize Police Department and the Belize Bank.
Today there were righteous fires on the road as government got ready to take the Equal Opportunities Bill to the House tomorrow. As we told you, it's a divisive piece of legislation, one that is supposed to be a progressive step for Belize, where citizens collectively stand up and say no more to 19 different forms of discrimination. But opponents say that it is an attempt at legislating morality for special interest groups. And last night on the news, 2 leading opponents, Pastors Scott Sturm and Louis Wade, made a call to Belizeans to take action and show the Barrow administration that they are not in support of this draft legislation. And it appears some persons answered that call to action with an extra bit of zeal. So, early this morning, a pile of tires were found burning in the middle of the highway near Carmelita Village. Officers similarly found tires burning near the Beaver Dam Bridge on the George Price Highway, and that prompted police to start organizing impromptu patrols on all the major highways. They were looking for suspicious persons or vehicles carrying tires and any other materials that could be used to block the road. They didn't find any more of those tire fire, but down in the Toledo district, a group of about 20 people was seen gathering in front of a Christian radio station for a protest against Equal Opportunities Bill. This morning, the National Evangelical Association of Belize organized a similar protest in Belmopan. In that demonstration, a motorcade of about 17 vehicles moved through the streets of the city, and the participants were chanting their motto, "Kill the Bill." Our colleagues from Plus TV News spoke with one of the organizers, and here's what he had to say about their protest.
8 o'clock last night, we said we had to do something. So we had a meeting specifically for Belmopan. That's what we are responsible for, Belmopan. There are other people that are doing other things across the country. We are responsible for Belmopan. And so last night we said we want to have a motorcade from 10 to 12 throughout the city of Belmopan and Rowing Creek. And that is what we did. The theme is shared throughout the country. Kill the bill. Which means we don't want one half bill. We don't want one limping bill. We don't want one re-energized bill. We want to kill the bill and then start the bill the right way. If you are going to have a new morality for the people, then go to the people first and ask the people in a referendum what kind of morality they want. And may the masses win. If it comes to discrimination and you want to protect the minority, do not trample the constitutional rights of everybody to give the minority special rights. And that is what the Equal Opportunity Bill is about. It is not about equality. It is about special interests and special rights and special money and special commission to do a new morality for Belize.
So who are the groups represented out here at the protest in Belmopan today and those across the country?
I know half of the people and I don't know half of the people in Belmopan. And then I know the leader in PG and I know the leader in Placencia. I still have to find out what happened in Mango Creek. I still have to go and check Facebook, see who all used Kill the Bill and observe what happened. So,
and essentially this is not just an NEAB movement.
No. There are known and unknown players because I am hopeful that we are successful in telling the country that this is not a church bill exclusively. This is a constitutional issue. So every Belizean should say something and do something. So I would have want to see certain things happen where I don't even know the who and I don't know the way it happened because people are just saying we will not have it.
And it seems all that blowback gave the government cold feet. In a late evening press release, the government of Belize confirmed that the bill will not be tabled. The statement issued half hour ago says, quote, the decision was taken to not proceed with the bill at this time and to withdraw it. While this is Cabinet's position, it views with deep regret the circumstances surrounding the bill being brought before the Cabinet for its approval, which is a mere part of the legislative process. While for some there might have been genuine consternation, it is regrettable that there was purposeful misinformation from some stakeholders. The legislative process allows opportunities for the venting and redressing of such legitimate concerns. The Cabinet wishes to make the following clear: that there was never an intent to pass such legislation without the due process being afforded, that there are very good elements of the bill that would bring about tremendous benefits for the Belizean people, especially as it relates to issues having to do with, but not limited to, our aging population, breastfeeding persons, and persons with disabilities, family responsibilities, gender, HIV, positive status, maternity, political opinion, industrial activity, irrelevant criminal record, lawful sexual activity, political opinion, pregnancy, race, religious activity, sex, sexual orientation, status as a person who is experiencing or has experienced domestic violence, status as an orphan, and a few other statuses. End quote. Quick work by Belmopan police last night resulted in the thwarting of a robbery and the recovery of the weapon used in the holdup of a young couple. Just after 8, police got a call about a robbery in progress near the Governor General's field on North Ring Road. Police got there in under 5 minutes and detained a 26-year-old carpenter of number 4 Garza Avenue with who had a .38 revolver with 6 live rounds of ammunition. He had just held up and demanded money from 20-year-old Elvin Mendes from Las Flores, who was with a 16-year-old female. Mendes refused and the robber pulled out a firearm. Mendes struggled with him, and that was when the police pulled up and took the suspect into custody and retrieved his firearm. Last night we told you about the fatal accident at mile 2 on the Philip Golson Highway that claimed the life of 42-year-old cyclist Oliver Peters. He died on the spot after being hit by a city shuttle bus. Tonight, the driver of that bus, 38-year-old Michael Lewis, has not been charged, but he has been served with a notice of intended prosecution. Same for 44-year-old Police Corporal Anibal Mena. He died 9 days after he was involved in a collision with a pickup and his motorcycle. A postmortem has confirmed he died of complications due to his traffic accident. The 56-year-old driver of the pickup he crashed into on the Pachacan Road, Santiago Victorin, has also been served with a notice of intended prosecution. We'll take a break now, but when we come back, what's the reality of distance learning? Well, we'll visit classrooms at 2 different primary schools for a sample of what teaching means in the COVID era. Don't go away.
Tiles, tiles, and more tiles. Belize is having a massive tile sale. For the entire month of September, get great deals on every single tile at Belize. Ceramic tile, porcelain tile, glass tile, stone tile, and HD tile. Also, come and see a wide selection of new arrivals featuring additional blue light specials starting at a low $1.59. It's Belize's massive tile sale. Belize, quality and savings.
Price Premier Products Limited has been proudly serving Belize for many years. We aim to serve you better and are pleased to announce our new office with convenient parking at number 1728 Chetamal Street, Belize City. Here, you will find our Price Smart outlet opening on weekdays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Be impressed with the variety of quality branded products such as Pampers, Always, Tide and Downy, Del Monte, DAC, Vigo and Alessi, Duracell, Crystal Farm Cheese, Linda Powdered Milk, Great Lakes Pork Tails, Ground Coffee, Authentic Gillette for men and women. We distribute many of the world's top and finest brands to supermarkets and stores nationwide. For authentic brands and quality products, visit us today. Price Premier Products Limited, importer and distributor of fine quality products.
Meals are better at home with Coca-Cola. Collect 2 golden caps of Coca-Cola, Fanta, or Sprite 1.5 liter with the word WIN and 1 golden cap with the word microwave or 1 with the word Oster, and you can win a microwave oven or Oster pots and pans. You'll also receive a free kitchen utensil with all 1.5 liter twin pack purchases. You can collect all 4 utensils. Visit www.coca-cola.com.
It's the biggest virtual concert of the year. This Sunday, September 20th, to bring in our independence, the 7th annual Soca and Culture Fest, featuring Patrice Roberts, Motto, Trinidad Madman, Super G, DJ Puffy, Ernestine Carballo, TR Shine, and Belize's top DJs, hosted by DJ Dalla. Get your access pass and view on any of our 3 platforms. $25 $30 to view on the Sec9 Live platform, $40 to view via Zoom and be live in the concert, or the home package for $50 on Central TV and Internet cable. Get those access pass as September 20th will be epic. Sponsored by
Orange. Not the ordinary orange, but I like to see orange. Cause orange just suck and I just suck.
Ready and comfort.
You play hard, so you need a mobile plan that can keep up. Digi is now offering unlimited talk and text and double the data on all plans and up to 60 gigs for the Plus plans. All backed up by the fastest and largest mobile network. More work, more fun, more you. Visit your nearest Digi store today.
El contrabando es importar ilegalmente productos como el alcohol, tabaco, comida y objetos. Aparte de romper la ley, los contrabandistas están poniendo ahora en riesgo la salud de los beliceños. Ellos arriesgan traer coronavirus a Belice por medio de sus contrabandos. Para mantener el COVID-19 fuera de Belice, todos los que entren al país son examinados y encuarentenados. Sin embargo, los contrabandistas no utilizan los puntos de entrada legal y se saltan todas las medidas de seguridad. Estos mismos traficantes se están moviendo entre la población. Ellos podrían tener el virus. Al entrar ilícitamente al país, esto puede provocar un brote de COVID-19. Comprar o traficar contrabando te pone a ti, a tu familia y a todo tu país en riesgo. Para números de Smart, llama al 0800-586-7377, 0800-267-3377 y para Digi 0800-728-3293 para reportar cualquier actividad de contrabando. Este mensaje es presentado por el Departamento de Policía de Belice y el Banco de Belice.
I'm Chef Sean Quillen, and I got a nice surprise for you today.
Take your cooking skills to a whole new level with Glazed Out, TNC's first ever cooking show with culinary expert Chef Sean Quillen. Tune in every week for exciting Belizean cuisine and some of Belize's biggest names in culinary art and culture, and watch as they create unique and delicious meals that will surely excite your taste buds. Glazed Out, in the kitchen with Chef Sean.
Belizean food, how another level. Premiering only on TNC 10.
The official hurricane season for the Atlantic Basin, the Atlantic Ocean, the Caribbean Sea, and the Gulf of Mexico is from June 1st to November 30th. If you are ordered not to evacuate, there are things you can do to get through the storm in the safest possible manner. Monitor the radio or TV for weather conditions. Stay indoors until the authorities declare the storm over. Even if the weather appears to have calmed, do not go outside. The calm eye of the storm can pass quickly, leaving you outside when strong winds resume. Stay away from all windows and exterior doors. Turn off power when there is standing water or fallen power lines. Prepare to evacuate to a shelter or to a neighbor's home if your home is damaged, or if you're instructed to do so by emergency personnel. Many hurricane-related injuries are cuts caused by flying glass and debris. Other injuries include bone fractures and puncture wounds from exposed nails, metal, or glass. Adzelot Audio and Video Production Company wants you and your family to be safe this hurricane season. Get a kit, Make a plan. Be informed. Brought to you by Adzalat Audio and Video Production Company and this station.
We do these things without thinking, to keep our possessions safe. And yet, we think twice about doing this. Even though calling Crime Stoppers is an anonymous way to make our homes, schools, and communities safer, which helps to protect the people we care about. Call Crime Stoppers to anonymously report criminal activity in your area. By working together, we can make our Belize a safer place. This message is brought to you by Crime Stoppers Belize and this station.
As we reported last night, BTL Chairman Nestor Vasquez is under pressure from his board of directors for alleged violations of the company's credit card policy and a 2-year advertising contract with Channel 7. This evening, we can confirm that Vasquez has decided to step down as chairman. A statement issued minutes ago says, quote, "I take this opportunity to thank the Right Honorable Dean Barrow, members of the Belize Telemedia Limited Board of Directors, its management, staff, and customers for the invaluable opportunity I received to serve the people of Belize as the company's chairman for 20 of the 32 years since the company was established. My service started 32 years ago when I took on the challenge of transforming a small domestic statutory body into a cutting-edge and innovative company that is now the nation's leading telecommunications provider. Over the years, my dedication to steering the company through its successes, challenges, and growth has been unwavering. Belize Telemedia Limited will forever hold a special place in my heart, as it has been a labor of love throughout the years. I have informed the Prime Minister that I intend to step down from my position as chairman, effective immediately, a mere month ahead of my planned retirement in October 2020. I am aware of the press release issued by Belize Telemedia Limited yesterday and will gladly participate in any investigation if requested. I thank all who supported my leadership and objectives to develop Belize Telemedia Limited during my tenure with the company and wish the current and future leadership continued success." As September ends, the nation's children have yet to return to school, with indications from educators and GOB being that classrooms will remain empty for the foreseeable future. But what's the alternative? Well, it's either online or paper-based learning, two methods that teachers and parents alike have had to quickly get behind. But what does the day-to-day of learning in the digital age looks like? And does any school have an upper hand? Cherise Halsal visited 2 city schools, one private and one public, to get a first-hand look at what it's like to teach and learn online.
Your sub-question is, Belize is one of those countries that's a part of North America, but Belize is one of 7 countries that belong to what? That's right. So Central America, Canada, United States, Mexico are all a part of North America. Excellent. And that was what was provided in the video.
That's Belize Elementary School teacher Melanie Bowden teaching a class during one of her live sessions. It's quickly becoming the new normal for teacher-student interactions. But Bowden says it's part of a dual system to keep her students as engaged as they can be with the coursework.
If you were to see my lessons, I have images showing that complement my voice. Because for a minute, the kids want to see you. They want to see their teacher. As much as they might feel frustrated with us, we've come to learn that they do appreciate it. They appreciate the structure and the one-on-one contact. So I do show my face, but I also provide cartoons and illustrations and diagrams to facilitate learning. I think this entire pandemic has taught all of us the need to loosen up and not be so rigid. Everybody is just so fixed. And I think the ones who are able to survive this time are the ones who are flexible and can adapt. Because you can't be rigid anymore. Anything can happen. So it's almost like, I know that's what you're doing. I know you're not fully watching my 15-minute video, but just know that when you come on my live, I can grade it, I can record it. You understand? So that's my check and balance right there. You might be able to watch 5 things at the same time. I want to ensure that you are learning because I can't stop them. I'm here and they're at home, and some of them are by themselves. Some of them do have someone sitting with them. Some of them don't start until their parents come home. Their parents come home at 5 o'clock. So there are so many factors that we have to take into consideration. It's just a matter of putting things in place. If they do this, okay, then we have this to balance it out.
And while Bowden's lessons are exceptionally well lit, her colleague, Julio Gonzalez, is making himself a cartoon character to teach such fundamental lessons as the definition of a computer. And this morning, he shared the importance of reaching his students through language and examples that are already part of their world.
I think the kids really do like my video lessons. As I may have shown you the one before, I try my best to make it colorful, to make it lively, and it has to be things that the kids are familiar with. It has to be things that they know about, because of course if we talk about things that do not necessarily apply to them and their lives, or things that they can relate to, again, the message goes right over their head and the lesson is not as effective as you'd like it to be. Luckily for us here at Belize Elementary, we have already set our minds that our online platform is now going to be our backbone of our teaching and our curriculum. Face-to-face is going to be supplementary, just to double check on the kids, make sure they have their work done. If they have any questions to ask, that's the time to ask questions, which is the reason why we have live sessions. We can have our video lessons, our instructional videos. We can have kids assigned work and they can turn it into us and we can evaluate our assessments. But the live sessions are really what hold the kids accountable for the work that they are done, and then you can double check and make sure that what your lesson the concept of your lesson is, they're actually grasping.
But while Belize Elementary School has been provided with the resources to grab the digital age by the horns, public schools are off to a slower start. This afternoon, I headed over to Grace Primary, where teacher Maisie Arnold told us about how she shifted from the regular classroom to Google's classroom platform.
I actually started from school closed after March 20th. Because I wanted to keep my students at that time who were in Standard 3, because I was teaching Standard 3 then. I wanted to keep them engaged. I wanted to keep them familiar with the schoolwork that we weren't able to give them at the time that they were home, so I started then. So I've had a fairly good trial run of it before I really needed to use it. It's difficult to get all the information you need across, especially when you're thinking about the information whereby you need some sort of interaction. So some information can be given via our platform that we're using, the Google Classroom, but it's going to be difficult to do other certain topics or certain activities whereby you need to see what the children are, how they are performing, what they're doing.
What's the most challenging subject to teach? I know that language arts will be different than math, science will be different. What's the one that it really tasks you guys to communicate over these types of platforms?
Language arts, because it's filled with so many components. We're used to focusing on whole language to get everything out of, maybe use a story and try to get as much as you can out of the story. But it's more difficult now with that because it entails a lot of reading, and we're not sure if that's what the children will be doing or are doing, so that's the most difficult part now. So then we had to like go right back to the old where you compartmentalize everything, where it's you teach grammar only, phonics only, vocabulary only. So that's what makes it hard.
From what we've gathered with when questioning parents, I have about roughly 60 to 65% of parents who have an access to an electronic device and internet at home. Other parents have to work off data which is not that reliable. So therefore that poses some challenges.
Do you feel that your students are losing anything this year by not being face-to-face with you in the classroom?
Yes and no. Yes, because there are certain students that need that extra teacher help, that one-on-one.
And with face-to-face interaction off the table for now, we wondered how private and public match up and whether COVID-19 might transform the wage gap into an educational gap as well.
I have a lot of friends that are educators in the public sector, and we bounce off ideas, and it's, in my opinion, those teachers tend to be even more creative, to be honest, because they're working against all odds.
They just have to get on board with it and maneuver the Google Slides. We try to make it very child-friendly and interactive with songs, videos, worksheets, things to make their life a little bit easier. But they're still learning at the same time.
Schools are teaching via the Google Classroom platform. We've all seen those vehicles driving around with no license plates on their bumper or tail end. Well, the Department of Transport says no more. They today announced that they will be cracking down on vehicles that don't have plates and those that are using unauthorized plates. They say that this initiative is the first phase of a series of targeted enforcement to address, quote, the many infractions of the Motor Vehicle and Road Traffic Act. This operation will include routine vehicle checkpoints on all public highways and spot checks during monitoring exercises and patrols. So, all drivers and registered owners of vehicles are advised to ensure that all license plates are properly affixed in the right locations before driving on any public road. If you didn't know, well, the law says that your license plate has to be visible and legible from up to 20 yards away under any and all lighting conditions. Finally, there's a truce between the senior management of the University of Belize and the UB Faculty and Staff Union. This evening, they sent out a joint release notifying the public that they have agreed, quote, to a number of measures to address the university's financial shortfall in these challenging times. The agreement that was signed on last Friday had the blessings of the Board of Trustees of the University of Belize, end quote. Engagement, negotiations, and discussions on this agreement occurred over a period of 3 months, and it included a meeting with the Ministry of Labor, which was chaired by Labor Minister Dr. Carla Barnett. This signed agreement covered several areas that affect both the university and its employees. It includes tiered cuts in salaries from 22% to 5%, an increment freeze for the financial year, a voluntary separation program, and the restructuring of certain areas of the university's operation. The restructuring focuses especially those parts of the university operations that have been closed during the pandemic and those that have been reduced significantly because of the migration of online teaching and the reduction of student population for this year. The two sides agreed to other subsidiary areas such as the ability to work from home with a technology grant and an interest-free loan to eligible employees for the procurement of internet access and a computer to facilitate it. The joint press release ends by stating, quote, the university and the UBFSU agreed that in 6 months' time, the state of the university's finances will be reviewed with a view to examining the feasibility of returning salaries to or near to their previous levels, end quote. Last night, we showed you our late evening interview with Director of Health Services, Dr. Marvin Manzanero. He discussed a slight decrease in the number of new coronavirus infections detected last weekend. We also asked the DHS about the government's plan to reopen the Philip Golson International Airport to international travelers on October 1st. Yesterday, when we asked the DHS if the government was still on track to reopen the PGIA on that date, he said that on Friday, all the relevant authorities visited the airport to conduct a detailed inspection of the COVID-related preparations. Here's what he said about his extended visit.
I was there on Friday. I was there all day on Friday. We had a desktop exercise before the plane landed. We had all the relevant stakeholders there. BTB was there, tourism, foreign affairs, immigration, customs, civil aviation authority, the concession group that manages the airport. Everybody was there. And the flow had already been kind of mapped out. There's an SOP. It's a living document, which is why we haven't shared it, because you have to tweak it as you move along. I think it went fairly well. I mean, you have your usual hiccups, usually by people's reaction more than the actual process flow, from what I observed when I was there. And people not feeling all the information prior to the plane landing, and so you have that hiccup once people land here. We met after that to see all the gray areas and try to, make sure those things don't happen. There is a flight this coming Friday, and the intention is to do a run as to what would happen once the airport opens. Follow that same process, follow the same testing booths that have been constructed within the airport, the little health unit that has been built. See how that flows. Go back to the drawing table and make sure that you correct any mistakes that you may have made, or in terms of the process flow, not mistakes in terms of the actual health process. Try to see how you can make it better, smoother, if you will, for everybody. And you have another opportunity on September 25th for when the airport opens. So from the health standpoint, I think we're pretty confident that we'll be able to do a run this coming Friday with a full health team there, and see how that will flow once the airport opens. I mean, you can only try it, and then once the airport opens, then it becomes a matter that it's the real test then.
And according to Dr. Manzanero, the Ministry of Health has also finalized its decisions on the types of rapid tests for COVID, which will be administered to tourists when the airport is reopened.
The SD biosensor is already in country. We have 5,000 of those. I spoke with the supplier for the Sophia 2, which is a rapid test that we have already validated. We have validated the 2 rapid tests by now, and they have passed that initial trial phase done at a flu clinic in Belize City. I was told the Sophia 2 will arrive on the Amerijet flight this week. We are also rolling the SD biosensor with symptomatic patients in Orange Walk later on in the week. Because you continue to field tests. So that should take care of what the trial run we want to do this Friday. But remember, the repatriation process will entail for now testing with PCR. So the reason we want to do rapid tests is to see how the process flow is going to become October 1st. So if the Amerijet flight brings the Sophia 2, we will have the 2 rapid tests and ready to use them as of this Friday.
And in other COVID-related news, last night, the Office of the DHS released the latest figures on the Health Ministry's countrywide surveillance of the pandemic. At this time, the total number of positive cases detected in the country is now at 1,501. A total of 169 tests were processed and 21 new cases were identified. There were 14 in the Belize district, 13 in Keycocker, and 1 in Belize City. In the Kaya district, 7 new cases were detected, 5 from San Ignacio and 2 from Belmopan. Also, 48 persons have recovered from the coronavirus, which now means that 62.8% of the cases in Belize remain active. And in the district breakdown, Corazol district has 154 positive cases, San Pedro town has 283 cases, Orange Walk district with 511 cases, and the Belize district has 283 cases. Cayo district is 212, Sand Creek district is 49, and Toledo is 9 total cases. The very latest numbers came out a few minutes ago. It says that a total of 334 samples were processed today, and from this, a total of 27 new cases were identified. 13 in the Corazol district, 13 That is 7 in Pachacan, 3 in Concepcion, 1 in Shaibe, 1 in Santa Clara, and 1 in Progreso. And 10 new cases in the Orange Walk District, 3 in the town, 3 in August Pine Ridge, 1 in Carmelita, 1 in San Luis, 1 in San Pablo, and 1 in San Jose. There are 4 new cases in the Belize District, all of them in Belize City. Notably today, a total of 123 patients have recovered. The DHS says that with this new set of data, all active cases are down to 55.4% of the total identified positive cases. And while many Belizeans are waiting for the airport to open to fly home, there are others who've come down through Mexico and are being processed through the northern border. But one family man whose application didn't go through correctly ended up getting stuck on the Mexican side. He's been there since Saturday in desperate straits, according to his wife. Ideli Carpio told us via phone today how bad things are for her husband and her family's breadwinner Lennox Lionel Young Jr., better known as DJ Tambron, who hasn't been home since January.
He is there now for the past 4 days. I have been all around looking for help for him. To tell you, Jules, I am at this point frustrated because he is here already. All I want is for them to let him in. Let him come into his country. We have the money to pay the 7 days quarantine. Let him come into his country. He has been out there. He have no job. He not to work. He don't have no money to buy no food. He sleep in a vehicle. So I am just begging the government to allow him to get in his country. We have no problem on paying his 7 days quarantine, and he is not refusing the swab. He said he will go by protocols, whatever procedure they put him through, but all he wants for them is to let them inside his country, put him in quarantine. We pay his quarantine. We have no problem. All we are begging for is to let him in back in the country and let him reunite with his family again. All we want him is to be home. Let him come back in his country. Let him in.
The CEO in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs confirmed that Carpio just yesterday properly lodged the application to have Young Jr. return. She says she is pushing to get him cleared to enter the country as soon as possible and hopefully by tomorrow. When we come back, we'll tell you about a media forum on fake news, and a new Belizean book teaches you how to have influence over others. We'll talk to the author. Don't go away.
Ready for this year, boss? This year, boss. Who ready for the premiere? Who ready for Bellykin? Wanna ready for have some fun? Yeah! Let's go! Hey! Sir Bobby's Bellykin Bash, baby, 2020. Bellykin giving back to music, yo! 3 days of mad Belize and entertainment. Starting September 18th with the mighty Gil Harris 7 band, the 2-time Kyle Bellykin DJ Champ, DJ Iconic, and wrapping up with Super Furia Band. Then on September 19th, a September Band, 5-star international, and closing off with the X-Band, baby. Then on September 20th, it's all about the new sensation band, Mr. Smalls and exclusive sound, wrapping up with the Sweet Pain Band. Catch the premiere on Love TV, Channel 5, Channel 7, TNC 10, Bellykin's Facebook page, and YouTube. Each night starting at 8 p.m. It's the Bash, baby. Sir Barry's Bellykin Bash. This year, boss. Who ready for the premiere? Who ready for Bellykin? Wanna ready to have some fun? Yeah! Let's go! Hey!
Tiles, and more tiles. Belize is having a massive tile sale. For the entire month of September, get great deals on every single tile at Belize. Ceramic tile, porcelain tile, glass tile, stone tile, and HD tile. Also, come and see a wide selection of new arrivals featuring additional blue light specials starting at a low $1.59. It's Belize's massive tile sale. Belize, quality and savings.
Price Premier Products Limited has been proudly serving Belize for many years. We aim to serve you better and are pleased to announce our new office with convenient parking at number 1728 Chatham Street, Belize City. Here, you will find our Price Smart outlet opening on weekdays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Be impressed with the variety of quality branded products such as Pampers, Always, Tide and Downy, Del Monte, DAC, Vigo and Alessi, Duracell, Crystal Farm Cheese, Linda Powdered Milk, Great Lakes Pork Tails, Ground Coffee, Authentic Gillette for men and women. We distribute many of the world's top and finest brands to supermarkets and stores nationwide. For authentic brands and quality products, visit us today. Price Premier Products Limited, importer and distributor of fine quality products.
Grandpa, I want crystal water, please. Can I please get one crystal water, please?
Okay, dear.
Thank you.
Welcome.
It pleases your heart, knowing she will grow up drinking the brand you have always trusted. It gives you peace of mind. Crystal water. Taste you can trust.
Ready and comfort.
Hard, so you need a mobile plan that can keep up. Digi is now offering unlimited talk and text and double the data on all plans and up to 60 gigs for the Plus plans, all backed up by the fastest and largest mobile network. More work, more fun, more you. Visit your nearest Digi store today.
Because of the destructive power of a hurricane, you should never ignore an evacuation order. Authorities will most likely direct you to leave if you are in low-lying area or within the greatest potential path of the storm. If a hurricane warning is issued for your area, you are directed by authorities to evacuate. Take only essential items with you. Make sure you have an emergency kit in your car. If you have time, turn off the gas, electricity, and water. Unplug appliances to reduce the likelihood of electrical shock when power is restored. Follow the designated evacuation routes and expect heavy traffic. Adzalat Audio and Video Production Company wants you and your family to be safe this hurricane season. Get a kit, make a plan, be informed. Brought to you by Adzalat Audio and Video Production Company and this station.
In Lucky Strike village out on the old Northern Highway, a group of villagers have simply seized upon a 20-acre plot of land that had been left abandoned. The chairman says the land has been sitting dormant and overgrown for as long as he can remember, so villagers took matters into their own hands. One concerned villager cautioned against that.
So everybody come out and they want a piece of land, so I am the chairman, I am back up there. The pink party, what is Mr. Pollard? He figured that Mr. Castro to give away this thing, but this thing I don't know political in this thing. I there behind the people there and I go down with the people there. If we have to go down together, we're going, but we don't move and this will be for we. Tell the owner come and say this stuff for we, then we do what we have to do. But this done there over 20 years. We done the chop up this, nearly 50 years we done there already. We go forward right now and we're not going back way.
How much acres are we talking here?
At least about 20 acres.
How long have you guys been working on it?
We there about 5 days now. About 5 days we there now. The community comes to me, everybody, and I not turn back and say no. Every piece of land where they in a Lucky Strike yard, everybody live on a piece of land where enough for we. For years, all 2 Rockstone pan they live on a piece of black land, must be about 15 of them on black land. Where enough for them? The people they need piece of land.
But what I say is that the right thing must happen. I personally talk to the chairman and tell him, yes, I am willing for assistance, for go to get the right thing, so that you could get the land. Right? So with that, I come this morning and I see what happened. And I know that it is illegal when I do. The thing about it is that I have the community at heart in the sense that if somebody started doing development here and somebody show up and say, well, hear me, either the owner, that person will lose everything.
Area Representative Edmund Castro says he has nothing to do with the land distribution, but he is in support of the villagers. We've seen a spike in gang-related shootings in the city recently, and there was what looks like another yesterday. It happened on Ordonez Avenue at 4 p.m. when 24-year-old Devon Arnold was shot to the right elbow. He's been riding his bike alongside 2 friends when a gunman ran out of a yard and opened fire. He was rushed to the KHMH where he was admitted in a stable condition. Fake news. You hear about it all the time. It's a term that was popularized by U.S. President Donald Trump, and he wields it like an executive samurai sword. But if you have internet access, chances are you may have already been receiving fake news in the form of news articles from sources such as WhatsApp groups or via Facebook pages, from individuals and organizations masquerading as credible information outlets. But what happens when these fake news producers deliberately attempts to mislead you to push their agenda? How can you separate fact from fiction? And how do you protect yourself from that kind of manipulation? This morning, the government, in collaboration with the U.S. and Taiwanese embassies in Belize, held a virtual media literacy forum to tackle these issues. 7 News attended, and here's what the organizers had to say about it at the opening ceremony of the forum.
The Office of the Prime Minister, in partnership with the Embassy of the Republic of China, Taiwan, and the Embassy of the United States in Belmopan, is very pleased to welcome you to this first of its kind forum entitled Navigating the Changing Media Landscape in Democracies, Fake News versus Facts. In the digital age, technology has opened a staggering array of communication possibilities where distance is no longer an obstacle in connecting people and events the world over.
With modern technology at affordable cost, we now enjoy the advantages of receiving a lot more information in a short time and can quickly sense the impulse from all corners of the world. Unfortunately, that's not the whole story. Disinformation and misleading content formed by hostile actors externally or domestically sometimes spread faster than facts. In many cases, they even spread faster than our immediate response for clarification.
The tools to create digital media are now in the hands of billions of people via smartphones. Secondly, fiber optic and satellite technology facilitate lightning speed transmission across the globe. Finally, our photos, voice recordings, videos, can be manipulated to very easily to enhance or distort the information that we captured.
In Belize and nearly every country, the way information is researched, written, distributed, and consumed has changed dramatically over the last 20 years. Control of news content is no longer limited to traditional media houses through daily and weekly newspapers and radio and television broadcasts. In the old days, we relied on these media institutions to take raw information and turn it into news. They were our filters. We trusted them, and usually we knew them. With the introduction of new digital platforms available on the internet to anyone and easily accessible through mobile handheld technology, nearly every citizen has access to virtually unlimited sources of information, much of it unfiltered through the channels that we were used to. This is real power. But as the old adage goes, with great power comes great responsibility. As a global community, we have accepted and embraced our new powers, but we're still working on figuring out all of the responsibility part. We must learn to recognize that sites that appear to have the elements of journalism, but without its ethics. We must recognize sources that have the profile of legitimate media without its commitment to professionalism and basic standards. Sources that intentionally and knowingly advance a narrow and disingenuous, a false narrative for narrow and disingenuous purposes. Without the professional filter of traditional media houses, the burden of assessing and validating our sources of information has fallen to us.
It is our sacred duty to ensure that freedom of speech and freedom of expression be protected by constitutions or laws, and it would be as easy as breathing the air. But we need to caution ourselves if the criticism or news is based on fake information, whether it is based on unsourced and anonymous material, and finally, whether it comes from hostile actors with the intention to degrade our political system and undermine the trust in our democratic institutions. If you do cherish your freedom, I'm confident you will be willing to take on the responsibility to stop and counter fake news. Our executive yuan, which is the highest administrative body, has set up a real-time news clarification webpage to respond and counter the spread of fake news. In addition, a private organization named Taiwan Fact Check Center, among others, is also established with the mission statement to verify news and information collected online and via social media.
The goal of today's forum is to help all of us develop the critical thinking skills that allow us to passionately engage in community and national conversations while retaining a healthy skepticism of outlandish claims, even if we really want to believe them, but without becoming overwhelmed, cynical, or disaffected.
Tonight at 7:30, you can see a live discussion on the event called Fake News versus Facts, Navigating the Changing Media Landscape in Democracies. The live virtual discussion will be aired by every major media house on TV and radio, as well as the Facebook page of the Government Press Office. He's the Belizean-born CEO of Gillett & Associates, a Texas-based firm which provides influence to ambitious organizations worldwide. And now Neil Gillett has taken all that experience in influencing and gotten it down to a science in his new book, The Secret of Influenceship. And this evening via Zoom video conference, Gillett told Cherise Halsal that for those seeking to have influence, service is key.
Well, on a whole, influenceship is two things. Influenceship is from the suffix ship, meaning a possession of influence. And it is also a strategy. It's a strategy of how to achieve influence. The kind of work that I do, I deal with human nature, and I've found out over the years that being influential is a thing that most people want. They want, whether you're a father, a mother, a husband, a company owner, a politician, everybody wants to be in a position of having an effect on other people. And I put this book together over a course of several years, and I was finally able to finish it this year, maybe because of the coronavirus and everybody's staying at home. But more so because I was kind of lacking a good example of service, a good example of influence. Not influence as the world normally sees it, with power and authority and money, but influence from the heart. And I saw actually, I think it was on Channel 7, there was a story on Gilbert Ramsey. And I said, hey, there is a pretty good example. And I did my research, and I was very amazed to find out a lot of the information about this particular individual. I spoke to some of the family members, in particular Miss Georgia Ramsey, and I got a really good amount of detail about his life. And I thought, this is kind of like the missing link that I need in the book. And I sat down and I put it together, and this is what developed. He rode his mule and cart, he did his service, but he had a particular story to tell about how God told him to serve where you are, and that's exactly what he did. He would go around and sing. He would attend people's funerals that he didn't even know, and he would sing at their funeral. And not only that, but there was a part of him where he played such a key role in many lives that when he died, he had, as the book will explain, one of the largest funerals in Belize's history, attended by all sorts of religious and political people, including the governor, standing room only, inside and out. People lined the streets. And if an observer was to look and say, wow, what did this man do? They would be surprised to find out that he was a mule and cart driver. But he served. And in my book, that's what I talk about. The secret of influencership is there are many ways of becoming influential, but the best way to become influential is to serve. So my book tries to encourage people, encourage the reader in the form of a very short story that, if you really want to become influential in your life, the best thing you can do is to serve. And I go ahead in the book and I explain to you what is the best way to serve.
Where can our readers find this? Where can our viewers find this?
Sure, it's available on Amazon.com. You can search for my name, Niall Gillett, or just look up the word influencership. It's probably the only book there that talks about that word. So I have been sending copies home, and I have another shipment coming up. So if you would like one, you can contact me directly, and I can arrange for you to purchase one.
Gillett can be contacted in the USA via WhatsApp at 281-948-5784. And before we close tonight, a final update on Lennox Lionel Young Jr., better known as DJ Tambourine, who's stuck on the Mexican side of the border. The CEO in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Annie Burns, has been working hard on it and confirmed just a few minutes ago that he will be cleared to enter in the morning, sometime before midday, hopefully. And that's all we have for you for tonight. Thanks for watching with your news. I'm Indira Craig. Remember that you can see a streaming video of this newscast at 7newsbelize.com, brought to you by Digi for the best postpaid plans in the country. Remember to wash your hands, wear a mask at all times in public, and to keep your social distance. Make sure to join me back here tomorrow at 6 p.m. And until then, have a great night.